Hey guys, this is Untitled Chapter, and I'm here today with another pick a card reading. As always, the cards have been pre-shuffled. We're using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, as well as the Work Your Light Oracle deck. Today's reading will be about what they think about you, what they wish to tell you, something of that general, in that general area, and it could be either friend or previous relationship or something like that. So we'll go ahead and get started. So we have three options. We'll do 1, 2, 3 as per usual. Remember to use your intuition to see which option is best for you and try to really look into yourself and see which one is calling to you so that you get the most accurate reading. So we have option number 1. So what do they wish they could tell you? Either an ex or maybe ex-friend or someone who's no longer in your life. Mirror. Take a break. Treasure Island. Unfinished Symphony. And why? So I'll go ahead and let you take a look at that spread. I don't know if you could see it, try to fit into frame here. So what do they wish they could tell you? Whatever person that you're thinking of. So whatever person that you had in mind, they're wondering, really self-explanatory, why your relationship ended, why things had to go down the way that they did. I don't know if it went down in a quote-unquote negative or positive way, or maybe it was just like a mutual thing, but they're just like wondering why. Maybe it was more your decision to end things or stop talking to them than it was theirs. With the unfinished symphony, they feel like you guys have unfinished business. They feel like your relationship didn't come to a conclusion to where you guys were kind of both feeling like, okay, no, this is it. Yeah, it's over with. Maybe it was more you than them, like I said, and they kind of feel like there's maybe some unfinished business. Maybe there's a little bit of resentment or bitterness, or it's just that they feel like they have no closure to the end in their relationship. And so I would say that they definitely miss you, for those of you who chose option number 1. They definitely wish that they could maybe have one more discussion with you to try to get whatever answers that they're seeking that they want. And that's not to say that you have to have them. It's just what the cards are reading. So next with the Treasure Island, whoever this person was that you no longer have a relationship with, like I said, whether it be an ex-friend or ex, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, what have you, they really treasured you. Whether they showed it or not, maybe that was one of the issues, is that they didn't show that they valued you, but they definitely really treasured you and held you in high regard and kind of put you up on a pedestal, and maybe they didn't know how to show it, but if you could see right here, there's little hearts and things like that up on the top of this turtle's or tortoise's back. Not sure which one it is. I think it's a turtle. So that would symbolize that they really had a lot of love for you, and they wish that they would have expressed it more when you guys were spending more time together, or when you guys were together. And next we have the take a break, a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. So they definitely think that you're the type of person who's always on the go, or always kind of busy doing something, even if it's not working per se. You're just kind of doing something, you're on your phone, or you gotta be here, you gotta be there, or you have these plans, or you have this show to watch. You're always preoccupied, maybe a little bit of attention issues on your end, and this doesn't necessarily have to be true to you. It's just what may be true to them in their perspective. So they definitely think that you're the type of person that maybe didn't make enough time for them at times, and they felt a little left out. Maybe you didn't invite them certain places, and they're like, what the heck, why didn't you invite me? And then the last one, we have mirror, who or what is triggering you. So this person is definitely thinking about the relationship. They're definitely kind of reflecting on the entirety of their relationship. They're definitely kind of what happened? I don't know if you guys got into some sort of argument or fight or something where something kind of ended almost abruptly, or to this person it felt abrupt, and they're like, what the heck, did I like trigger this person, or what actually happened? So they're kind of like curious about that, which is probably why they think it's unfinished and they want some sort of closure. But it's up to you whether you want to give it to them or not. And yeah, that's it for option number 1. So now we have option number 2. We have the leap card, the initiation, exchanging gifts, never-ending story, and time for a nap. So whoever you were thinking about, those of you who chose option number 2 when you clicked on this, whether it be like an ex, relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or ex-friend or something like that, like this is like what they're thinking and what they're feeling. So we'll start over here. Time for a nap. They definitely feel like they had their energy drained somehow in their relationship, either regardless of whether that actually happened or whether it was your fault or not, or whether they had other things going on in their life that were draining their energy. But somehow they felt like, there wasn't an even exchange of energy somehow, and they felt like, it's time for them to relax. And then next we have the never-ending story. So that person just kind of felt like whatever relationship that you guys had was kind of like ongoing in some way, like maybe there were certain cycles that kept getting repeated, like the same kind of things kept happening, and that would be like pertaining to whatever patterning you have as an individual. So they kind of felt like, oh well, it's the same thing happening again, like I don't know what to do, they don't know what to do, I'm really burnt out, whether it be from like work, school, whatever, relationships, or maybe even you were burnt out and that's you that actually need time for rest and relaxation, or both of you need time for quote unquote a nap. And it was just kind of the same things over and over again, and you guys kind of just like weren't seeing eye to eye. Like, have you ever had it where you're like, the communication is just off, like you guys are missing each other, like it's not quite meeting up? So that kept happening for some reason in this relationship with whoever you're thinking about. The next one's exchanging gifts. Maybe they felt like they were giving a lot in their relationship, or you felt like you were giving a lot in the relationship, and it wasn't like a symbiotic thing. It wasn't an even exchange. One of you didn't feel like it was as reciprocated from the other person, or maybe both of you felt like that, and you guys couldn't come to an agreement, but you're like, no, it was me, I gave more, and they're like, no, it was me, I gave more. Or they secretly felt like that and never got to express it. But it was kind of like just some sort of pattern that just you guys kept getting caught in, where they're like, you guys are kind of like, what's going on, whether it be a friend or ex-relationship, and you guys were just like both kind of drained, and it's not one person's fault or the other, it was just kind of like, it just kind of happened. And then if we move on to the initiation, rite of passage, you're going somewhere sacred. So that person definitely held you in high esteem, whoever that person was. They definitely thought that you were a lot better at things than people generally are. They're like, oh, they think that you were like, you're meant for something more, you're meant for something bigger, like you're meant for something more sacred than the average person, at least in their eyes. So they kind of see you as like maybe a little bit of like up on a pedestal. Maybe they also see you like you have a lot of inherent gifts, like talents or skills, I don't know, whatever you're good at. And so maybe they saw you as like having a lot of gifts, gifts from God, gifts from the universe, things like that, a lot of talents, and definitely like you're a sacred type of person, so they definitely valued you. Last we have here leap, someone who takes chances, who takes a leap of faith, who really trusts in the universe. They just thought that you were like a special person, and the universe somehow always had your back, or luck was always on your side. So that's a general consensus. It's just like they kind of don't understand, they kind of needed a break, there was some miscommunication, but they really thought that you were a very special person. So that's it for option number 2. So for those of you who chose option number 3, we have you're already doing it, transformation to the sea. Oops, blessed. And the one that jumped, imagine. So again, this is for like what your ex, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, what have you, or ex-friend thought of you, or thought of the relationship, or feelings, or what have you. So if we move here to the Imagine card, their relationship with you, whoever you're thinking about, they saw it as something that they really valued, something that was like they could only dream of, or they thought they were really fortunate to have you in their lives. Even if they didn't have the capacity to understand it or express it, they definitely thought it and thought about you. Even if it was a friendship, they're like, damn, this person's a really good friend. Or if you're a significant other, they're like, damn, this person's a really good significant other. They may not have felt like they deserved it, or that they deserved you, or they deserve to have a friend like you, just because of their own self-esteem issues and things like that, So a lot of times it's not you, but it's the other person struggling with their own self-worth and self-value, or vice versa. If you're that person struggling with self-worth and self-value, it can make relationships difficult sometimes. Next, we moved on to the Blessed card. So that person, whoever you're thinking about, definitely felt blessed to have you in their life. They definitely felt like you were there for them in their times of need. Maybe they were a little bit too needy at times, just in certain respects. Doesn't mean that they were a needy person overall, but just maybe sometimes they were going through a lot. They just happened to be going through a lot, and they weren't necessarily needy, but they just, needed a lot at the time. Next we have the To the Sea card. So whoever you're thinking about, they're kind of in their own little world. They're kind of out to sea, out to lunch. They're kind of like, they're caught up doing their own thing. So it's hard for them to maintain, appropriate boundaries, appropriate and healthy relationships, appropriate and healthy friendships, even familial relationships. They're just kind of like in their head a lot. Next we have the Transformation card. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Also, whoever you're thinking about is going through some sort of healing. They're going through the dark night of the soul. They're kind of switching things up. They're facing their demons, their shadows, and they're really transforming. And I think that you helped facilitate this transformation, so good for you. I definitely appreciate you, even if you guys don't have contact anymore. As we move on to here, says you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing true north. So I don't know if the person that you're thinking about thought that you overanalyzed too much, or that you were constantly overthinking. Maybe they were just like, oh, calm down, or oh, it's not like that, or oh, you're thinking about that too much, you're analyzing that situation too much, you're analyzing that person too much. So I don't know if they thought that you were doing that too much, or if they're the type of person that was overthinking too much and, would overanalyze situations and maybe even overanalyze things that people said and kind of like take it to heart. But regardless, it'd be one of you who did that. More than likely, they felt like you did that, even if you maybe don't think that you're like that. Sometimes we have a tendency to overanalyze situations. But overall, I would say that they feel like they're lucky to have you in their life. They kind of would like to have you in their life again, but they're basically working on themselves right now. They basically have a lot of mental and emotional obstacles to overcome. But they definitely would want to be friends or be with you again. And that's it for option number 3. This has been Oracle Jam Tarot. Remember to like and subscribe. Let me know what else you guys want to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.